Okay, we're going to start on this, but first I need to turn that radio back on. We'll lower that volume a bit. Alright. I don't have many daytime viewers. This probably won't be the most popular of streams. We're going to recreate a mini that I made a while back. Start with the head. Sure. Go without hair, because pretty sure this is going to look better with just the horns. Probably. Yeah, we're gonna actually start by dropping the weight of everything so I can get good proportions and everything. These will go back up later on, but right now it's just easier to get a full proportion idea with the smallest amount. I need human-like legs. It looks weird now, but it'll make sense later. No. Horns. We got new horns recently. They were last week. Those are just gaudy, aren't they? Not to say this character wouldn't have some gaudy-ass horns, but, not really hitting the... What the fuck? Not really hitting the vibe. However... maybe it... Hold on. Oh, right, you can just move the character around now. I guess you kind of have to. We'll get to why that's important in a minute. Could I... That looks better. I don't know if the hair is gonna be... Because for a draconic race, the only kind of like hairstyle you have is really just like head tentacle type deal. Which has always kind of just looked weird to me. But, like, you can't stick actual hair on it. Like, I guess you could. I guess you could stick actual hair on it, but to me it's just something that looked a little strange. Doesn't fit well. What I need to do is I need to... That's middle. What do the front ones look like? Let me custom pose these front horns, because... I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look great to me. No, I don't think the front horns are gonna do it. It's okay, because we are gonna add extra bits as well to kind of fill out what is at the moment empty space. Oh, those look weird. I don't hate the front one. The thing is that this character originally was supposed to be super big and intimidating. This was one of the... this is a character I played in my last D&D campaign with Lycris. This is actually one of my favorite characters, to be honest. That I've ever played, actually. This character was very fun to play. And I already have him made. That doesn't look bad. I could dial that. I could roll that backwards a little bit. What if I just... Okay, not this one. We'll skip that. Like, because theoretically, I could... Because one of the biggest things, like, this character's, with his horns, stands about 10 feet tall. So, like, yeah, I could do something like that. But to me, that feels too basic. It doesn't fit the aesthetic that I want for this character. See, now there's a whole... When we get a little later down the road here, there's a whole different aesthetic to this that is going to make the overall character just kind of make more sense. It's almost like a... God, what's it called? It's an archetype. It's like the wolf and the lamb, or... Beast and... It's not Beauty and the Beast, but it's... I don't know what it is. Wonder... Yeah, this does look a lot better, but I want to see if I can... Just wanted to see what I can do with the horns. I think that... It's not much of a change, but that looks good. I don't like the way these two, like, meld together, though. That's my biggest problem. That's good. That's not bad. Could I... Okay. I can Control Z it if I don't like what I'm doing. Here, let's... First off, let's get rid of that happy face. This is not a happy person. I didn't do much. That's a little better. Okay, so... Nope, we're still in advanced poses. So back on the horns. Because I don't want it sticking straight up. And I don't want it splayed out too much. So if I could just roll these Just a bit. Okay. So they're still touching, but it doesn't look like they're just melded into the same spot. That's kind of what I want to go for here. Well. That looks good. We might come back to this. Come back to this at a certain point, but let's go with no wings. He does have a tail. Give him this one right here. That's gnarly looking. Okay. So we'll come back to what is that? That's new shit there. I haven't seen any of that yet. That's cool. Yeah, I know they must have just added that. Oh, it's because I got early access now. So this is actually supposed to go in next week. But because they added a dual character system recently, I want to take advantage of that. I don't think he necessarily used any kind of helm or anything, but we're gonna scroll through here and see what's up just in case. Also, I'm really sorry if I sound like absolute dog shit. I'm a little sick right now. Give me a second. So these helmets are dope, but they do not look good on Dragonborn characters. I don't think I've ever had a helmet on him. No, that's because nothing's gonna look good on him. Okay, that's fine. We'll just move on to the chest pieces. I'm going to give him something heavy. This character in particular wore heavy armors, very heavy armors. So let's see what we got. That one's not bad. I think the last time I made this mini, I used this chest piece. But now we've got a whole bunch of renditions we could do. A bunch of changes and shit we could make. This one's good. This is a full plate. I don't like that. At least not for him. I like that. I kind of like the Conquistador chest plate and style. Oh, that's exactly what it is. It's Conquistador. Make him a fancy man? No. God, no. That is not what this character is. Now, if these weren't too futuristic and didn't do that weird thing around his neck, I'd probably go with them. Yeah, you know what, we'll go with this. This seems like the basic plate. It's fine. It is a full plate. That one's pretty good, though. We're gonna leave it on this for now. We might come back to it. Wow, those are cool. Let's do some basic posing and try to. So you want to get like, there we go. That'll give like the overall vibe for the character. Back to clothing, gloves. So the biggest problem is that a lot of the armors get really funky once you start adding like genuine weight to characters. So like if I add weight to him, yeah, the armor looks good, but like those gloves just like, what the fuck is that? That's not anything. That's just weird. So that's one thing that we want to avoid. Yeah, let's make this man... Let's make this man tall. He's a big boy. So that's 10 feet tall. His head needs a little bit more resizing. Not by much, just about there. But don't worry, we'll give him pants at some point. Not yet, still working on gloves. Okay, so probably should give him the weight so that I can just kind of see what... I think we'll start with muscularity because that's his biggest deal. He's a big beefy boy. I'll only give it about 25. I'll drop this to 75. Increase head size by a couple ticks. Let's, he's gonna need some shoulder pads. We'll have to get to that. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. So we'll scroll down through, see if we can find anything that's gonna be... I think this is what I had on him before, but it's not... Or no, it was these. These are good. I like these gauntlets. I might just stick with these again. So ideally, I'd like to use these, but they have that same problem. They just get real fat around the forearm for no reason. There's no point to it. Those weren't bad. On like the samurai gear, he did get all of his armor and shit from an Asian themed continent or island, I suppose. Ooh, that looks sick. These ones are also very good, but they're not good with heavyweight characters. About split mail wouldn't be bad. Oh, that uncovers the arm. Oh, excuse me. So here's the heavy plate. These would work. Yeah, no, fuck it. Those look good. I like those. That works perfectly. Let's give this man some pants. So again, we run into the same issue that we do with the forearms. And this boy uses some heavy plate. The problem is that this right here just looks weird. So, Jesse, that's actually an inside joke in my group. Because everything eventually evolves into crabs. So, We are the Crab Council. I need something good here. Those would work. Those could work. That pose stretches it out quite a bit, though, is the biggest problem. He doesn't sit too well on that base, though, does he? Are you actually in here, Jesse? You just hanging out? You just pop in to drop a... How you doing, hon? That's not bad, but he's definitely more battle worn. You in danger? Here? Never. Why is that getting so stretched out? That's what I don't understand. That's what's bothering me so much. I mean, I know why it's getting stretched out, because the whole model is technically like this whole bottom side here, but it's shaped to not be. Yeah, like that right there. Like the whole thing's stretched out, even though like that's not the actual shape of it. The pants are the worst. The pants are always the worst. I would put this on if it didn't just fucking make that super big. There's no reason for that. It's weird that it does that more than anything. I don't know why it's doing that. That could potentially work. Yeah, I hate that. Why is it just distorting the fuck out of it? Okay. I don't think you could handle that, honey. I appreciate your fervor. I don't know if you could handle that. That's a big old boy. Looks like I might have to go with this. I don't like the armor skirt, but... nothing's really meshing how I want it to because the leg spread is fucking it up. Like, I would just use this. Actually, you know what? Here, we're gonna save that real quick. We're actually gonna go... because this is the original here. This is one where... oh, I used those pants! Okay. Hold on, I can do that. That's probably the best choice, honestly. I've got a lot going on here, by the way. So... that's up here. That's in the leathers and everything. So that's this one. I guess that looks good. It's not... it doesn't really hit what I want it to, though. That's the problem. We're gonna go with the skirt, the armored skirt, and full plate for now. If we find something later, we'll go with it. We'll come back to it. Give him some fucking sick-ass boots. Those are nice. Those are even nicer. So these are the ones that are on the other model, and those are neat. That adds a wickedness to the character, but that's not 100% what I'm going for right now. Because I don't want to fully recreate this, but I want it to just kind of sit well in like the ideal kind of setting for him. Excuse me. Do we just have like basic plate boots? Traveler's boots. Heavy plate. So those work. Those sit pretty well. Those match the gauntlets. So those are nice. I could go with that. I don't want the tactical anything. It's either those or... Might be the dragon. Might be the Dragon Knight boots. Because I don't want the plate mail. Plate mail's not bad. Those Dragon Knight boots fucking hit different. The only issue is that they get rid of the leg armor, like the knee armor. Where were those boots at? These? No, those are the half plates. Heavy plate. Might be the heavy plate. Yeah, well, we'll go with that. Can't do any masks, so he's gonna need some shoulder pads. Actually, those look pretty sick. But like I said, he kind of comes from and definitely not those. A somewhat like Eastern Asian sort of setting. So if I can, I'll stick with that concept. Yeah, I knew that. I just wasn't sure if you were in here. Thank you, though. Maybe I won't stick with that theme. See, those are just too beefy. One of the things that I have the most trouble with is super beefy, like, pauldrons. I'm not a big fan. I know they make sense for, like, high armored characters, but I've never been a big fan of them. See, like, these are okay. One of these... Oh god, those are just gaudy. I mean, they fit how fucking, like, ultra violent this character is, but these are nice. I like these, and they also just sit well without any immediate editing. This looks alright, so let's double check our poses. It's probably this one. We'll just leave it like that for now and move on to weight. Because, like I said, he is a beefy boy. Don't want to add too much weight because then it'll just look out of place and weird. So you see how strange it starts getting. So, not much of a waist to him. Or a lot of a waist to him, depending on how you're looking at it. Don't really need to mess with the upper scale. Separate the build just a little bit, not too much. Well, more than I thought, because opening that build up actually does look pretty good. Bring that to 5. Bring the upper weight down. Lower weight looks like it'll be good at probably 4 or 5. Yeah, that looks good. We'll leave this at 5. Increase the head size a little bit so it's not super out of weirdness. And I'll bring that up to 5.5. That looks good. Yeah, okay. That looks pretty good. So we're gonna put the spikes down the back, which are a little weird for like full plate armor, but we're gonna say that he's got like a plate that just kind of slides over that and connects to the rest of it. We're gonna hand wave that because he's a big mean dragonborn motherfucker, and who's gonna argue with him? There was one thing that I was alright. Belly. Add some belly weight just to fill out that armor a little bit more. Probably, yeah. Let's we'll do about 50 on curves, about 50 on booty. What time is it? Oh, okay. It's already 6:30. I slept way too fucking long today. Okay, so he's looking good. We got him about where we want him. Not as many spikes as he used to have. Well, it's a big angry boy. So what we're gonna have to do is first, I'm gonna have to kind of open up some space on this mini. Because there's another character that's going on this. I want him to fit on his base, so let's throw some weapons on this boy. Because he has got some beefy weaponry too. He is an axe-wielding dragonborn. Nope, not on the back. In his hands. So that's about the kind of axe that he used. Feel gnarly looking. But we're going to see if they've added anything that's just a bit more mean. Because this is just a nice overall looking axe in general. That's... ooh... But it really looks like a two-handed kind of weapon, doesn't it? That's the downside, is that they don't have a lot of like really gnarly looking hand axes. Hey sweetheart, how are you doing? I know you said you're lurking, but I'm making you talk to me before you do. You know what? He could be a little more beefy. You know, Bring it up to 25. Yeah, that looks nicer. I'll bring this up to about 6. I'll do 6. Maybe 6 for this is... Yeah, that looks good. Still gonna have to mess with the horns a bit. Just kinda give them a more powerful feeling to them. Oh, that's real shit. That's you. Oh, that's you. Well, would you look at that? How'd you get to do those? Or that, I guess. That's really nice. That's sweet. You made it? Well done. That's very well done. Okay, I don't think he had any, like, spell enchantments. I mean, he had an enchantment on his axe, but I can't remember what it was. One thing that he definitely had... Is it because I have the spikes going down my back? It's probably because I have these, so we'll get rid of these. You'll have to send them to me once you get them. Yep, that's what it was. So he's got this big ol' cloak. There we go, that kind of fills out his body a little bit more too. I'll have to move this pauldron back a bit. Lift it up. So he does wield a much larger axe on his back as well. Which is a living axe, which I believe was this one? Yes. So this was actually a magical axe that had basically a mind of its own. In hurting... So what's neat about this weapon, and also was incredibly detrimental on multiple occasions, was while wielding it, I had the option to essentially offer up life force. So I could damage myself, but also add huge damage to the weapon's attack. But it was a living weapon, meaning it understood what was going on around it. It was not a fan of my character, because there's a lot of backstory shit going on that I don't necessarily have a whole lot of time to get into at the moment. So, you need a shield, my boy. This is another thing. He used a hand axe, or a one-handed axe, a two-handed axe, but he also had a big old shield. I don't think the shield is big enough to be the one that he had. I don't think they've added anything bigger than this, though, which is the problem. He had like a big old tower shield. That looks dope. It is not a tower shield. It's just a big old shield. I like the coffin shield. That looks pretty sweet. Bone shield? Bone shields are dope. Okay, it doesn't look like... I wonder if I can... This is sweet, just gives big old claws. I wish Peter was in here right now. I could show him these, because he might want to revise his model a little bit if he sees this. It's definitely very primal beast. What does a spell effect do? What the... Oh, it just throws it on my... Duh. Okay, so... I wonder if I can scale this. Do they... No. They haven't done anything like that yet. That's what I'm hoping they do eventually. Okay. So what I'm hoping they do eventually is like allow you to scale certain things. Like if I could just scale the shield of it. Not the part where it connects, but like just the shield would be really good. Alright, so we've got some posing we gotta do with him before we start on the other model. For starters, we're gonna want measure, posture. This is Draco. This is my black dragonborn. This is actually the dragonborn that is paired with Panda's character, Cream, who, due to how Hero Forge has done their things lately, I will be adding to this base as well. Cream. Cream the cat. Cream is a feline Hingyokai who, here, I'll give you just like what I had for her before. I don't have her mini on here anymore, but the whole point that she was a little white cat, but she had two other forms. She had a human form and a hybrid form. So, you know, you have a, like, basically a furry character and a like a full cat folk or a like cat girl, essentially, like half and half kind of deal. We're gonna do some like full posing here, because this is where it actually gets really intricate, because we're going to we're going to twist his head just a little bit in each one. And we're going to tilt it back the right way. And we're going to tilt it downwards to give him just like that kind of like ominous, just kind of standing over you kind of feel. So I don't want to move that too much. Pull the clavicle in, bend it down, because you want to have a good kind of center balance. What? What did I say? Oh, you pervert. But also, yes. Actually, you know what? For this, we're going to bend his head back. Yeah, no, he has a very, very big, heavy, kind of commanding structure to him. Specifically, Draco was about 10 feet tall with his horns. So the thing is do we want to kind of tilt this forward a little bit more? Yeah, that works. So we'll bend this. Kind of have you looking off to the side still, like you were at the beginning. Have you tilt upward just a bit. Just a bit. Bend it back over to the sides. It's kind of evened out. That looks good. I like that. I'm happy with that. This posing looks good. Let's work on this arm. Here, first off, let's do that. Now bring this back to where it's supposed to be, and we'll just work on the clavicle first. So we want to pull that out a bit. Yeah, it's not real fun, Wisp. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave. So what happens if we... no, here in a little bit I'll be setting up for, Metro. I'll be playing Metro a little later. Let's bring that shield forward. Can we do that? I want him to feel more dynamic. Actually, that doesn't look bad right there. Like, what do you guys think? I'm kind of into that. We're gonna work on his cape just a bit here. So bend this off to the side. We're gonna bend this all the way over. So it's kind of looking like it's being thrown off to that side. And we'll do some down tilts here, because just because. And I'll bring that bend back just a bit. Give it some twisties. God, you know what I could go for right now? Some fucking Taco Bell. God, I'm craving Taco Bell for no reason. That looks a little better. Ah, there we go. That's nicer. And let's give him some rage. Even that, like, angry rage face. Okay, so... Good. This is Draco. I think this is a good... Let me look at a different glove real quick, because it's bugging me. I feel like this man needs more spikes. Oh, those fucking... delicious ass... God, see, that looks so cool. I love the spike. What if I do the spike on one side? It's that new stuff that they've got. The, like, grilled cheese burrito. Or some shit. It's so good. You know what? That looks good. I like the spike. We're gonna stick with the spike. His arms look a little stubby, don't they? Wonder if I can change that. Oh. Ooh. It's so good. Well, his arms don't look stubby anymore. That's good. I like that. Nope, that looked better when it was kind of up. Get that, like, shield wall kind of feel to it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah? Maybe? Let's twist that down just a bit. Okay, solid. So this is Draco. Gotta fix this. This is not connected to his horn. We'll have that just go right between it. Which I'm sure in any combat setting would be annoying as fuck. Shut up. Can we... Is there any way to make this look good? Because that's... That looks so much nicer, but it clips into his horns and shit. Can I make it not do that? You can't make the horns any smaller from that. That's just kind of the size they are. Yeah, don't ever ask a guy to make his horns smaller. Horns smaller. Yep. Okay. Let's give this boy some throwing axes, because he had a couple throwing axes that never hit their target. Literally ever. They missed every time. It was kind of depressing. Okay, we'll give you a little twist, a little tilt. Can I twist just? Okay, sweet. Little down and to the side. Trying to find what the values of these are so I can move. Okay, that's at 0. I just wanted to move that out of the way so I could do this. That actually looks kind of cool. I did this. I did this so I could see the throwing axe, but that actually looks kind of cool. Well, hold on. We'll come back to that. Let's finish this. Oh, that worked out for him. Put that right there. Drop the grip position. Little back. Give her a little tilt so it follows the body direction. A little more up and in. And yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's fucking address what I've just done here, because that's really dynamic, and I'm kind of super into it. Give me a second. I need to drink some more Dayquil because I'm dying. Ugh. It's bad. Ugh. It's bad. Okay, yeah, that honestly looks a lot better. Let's address this pauldron that does not seem to want to sit in a good spot. I'll bring it back a little bit. Oh, scale it up a lot. We'll bring that to 1 because that's not a bad scaling. That's not going to do anything for me. So we'll put that about right there because that actually does line up with that strap real well. And that looks nice. And I would love to make it a bit more visible over the cloak on his back, but that doesn't look like something I'm going to be able to do. Let's move that back down just a... right there. Then the other pauldron's just kind of in a good position with how the stance is. I think this is good. I think this is a fully realized and updated Draco. I mean, most foul. This is one of my favorite D&D characters that I have ever played. Shame on you. You came in here with no knowledge and started hating on my shit. Shame. I'm not that mad. I don't think Draco's a pizza fan. Well, when you can figure out how to rig up my hands to take a fucking hit on my vape, you let me know. You let me know. Okay, let's... This is where it gets fun. Because now... I don't want any of those. Oh, you're just gonna let me add another characters? Oh, you just pop it right in there. Okay, sweet. So we're going to start by adding this in. Can you add more than one? No. You can't have 3. Do you know how difficult it is? Because it's not fun. Okay, I can do... Gotcha. So first off, we're going to... move this around. This is a female. Let's do body, measure, and... Is that as tiny as I can make it? Well, that's a shame. Why are you changing the height? I did not tell you to do that. Oh, I appreciate you stopping in though, Lewis. Okay, I don't know why it changed the height. This is a beta thing. No, I do know the meme. I know it. So now here is actually where I need some help from Panda. Because I'm not 100% sure. Okay, wings are not going to be something I'm going to be able to throw on this. Okay, those wings will work. Can I get the... Okay, I can get the little smaller ones. I gotcha. Do you want me to just not add the wings in our hybrid form then? Also, why? That doesn't make sense. Okay, that's fine. Well, first off, let's deal with the legs, because... Not all of them. Okay, so... Let's see, you used a crossbow. If I recall correctly. You used an orb, okay. You also had a crossbow, though. Ears. You big ol' ears. There we go. We'll fuck with the pose a little later on. Okay. What sort of hairstyle would Cream have? Also, stop ignoring people. Cream was a very good cat. So, a little backstory. Cream was really the only reason that Draco was alive, actually. Cream is the only reason that Draco was alive, because Draco was around 100 years old, which is beyond the lifespan of most Dragonborn. Now, what had happened was Draco was a war criminal, simply said. He was a not good person. He was a neutral evil character before his introduction to the campaign. He was a war general, and on the mainland of Faerun, he, amongst his tribes of other Dragonborn, he was renowned as a general of just devastation. He killed indiscriminately and wiped out anyone that stood in front of him. But at one point, and I can't remember how I explained that it happened, but I think it was he had wiped out the wrong village or the wrong town, completely wiped it off the map, and essentially instead of facing his death honorably, he fled. And he fled to the Silverwind Isles, which is where the campaign was taking place. Now, the Silverwind Isles is a chain of islands, and the one that Draco found himself on after he stowed away on a ship was called Ozin. O-Z-I-N. Panda, help me out here. What hairstyle am I supposed to give this little bean? So, he kind of scrolled away into the woods, into the forests of Ozin, and there, he just kind of... So you want me to just do that? Is this what you like? Because I can do this. It just looks funky. So there, he built his own, like, small cottage, essentially, and just was wanting to live out the rest of his life, however long he had, alone. Just away from society. He had thrown himself away from any real contact or human society, and essentially one day there was this little cat that just appeared on his doorstep. Now, it wasn't a kitten by any standards, but it was notably small. Practically a dwarf. But you know, he tried to get rid of it, just make it go away, but, you don't pick the cat picks you. Type shit. And this little white cat just sort of stuck around. And because of that, Henshiokai have a very specific thing to them where they, after bonding to another being, will essentially come into their full maturity and will have a hybrid form and a human form. And that's basically what happened. Is like he finally took her in and kept her, and she changed because of that. And she gained a human form and a hybrid form like what you see here over just her normal cat form. Now, the reason why that's important is because Draco had been living alone for a long time at that point. He was old and lonely and just probably wasn't doing super well mentally. And then he had a friend, someone that he trusted and he took care of. Now, here's where the bad part comes in, is that Draco was really old. Draco was dying of old age. Natural causes. But the bonding between a Henshiokai and another being is incredibly strong. And in some cases can even kill a bonded pair. That's how important a bonded creature is. So Draco died. Simple as that. He died on his bed of old age. He passed away. But Cream didn't like that. And unfortunately, Cream did not have any kind of way to bring him back herself. So, Cream very quickly went to get a cleric of Avandra. Now, this cleric came and essentially did what they could. But like I said, Draco died of natural causes. There is no bringing someone back from the dead if they die from natural causes. It's natural. He didn't die in some battle. He didn't get put down on the field or anything like that, or get poisoned. He just died. It's normal. It happens to everyone. Well, Cleric couldn't do anything. But Cream didn't accept that, and Cream prayed, and screamed, and begged. And Avandra heard her. And made a miracle happen. Which gave Cream her powers, essentially. Because Cream was a cleric after that point. But, due to this miracle, Draco was brought back to life. Cream essentially casted resurrection on a being that wasn't supposed to be able to be resurrected. And it worked. Now, because it wasn't supposed to work, and it wasn't supposed to happen, she fainted, obviously. She passed out. All the power that could have been given to her at that point surged through and put her down. But now here's the thing, is that Draco woke up, and his only friend, the person that he loved and cared about more than anything in the world, was now on the ground, unconscious, with a random man standing over her, trying to figure out what just happened. Oh yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. The energy that Cream had flow through her in that instant to make her pass out was a lot. Way more than she should have ever been able to use at that point. But, so here's the thing. Is that Draco woke up. And Draco was looking at this man standing over the only person and thing that he cares about in this life. And if you recall, Draco's not really against killing. He's sort of his thing. And he went into a blind rage. And it was not good. It was as bad as it could have been. He didn't kill the man. The man escaped. But Draco didn't stop when he ran. Draco chased after the man. There was a search party sent. Because no one knew what happened to the guy. He was just gone, didn't come back for several hours. And, wasn't going to. Draco almost killed him. He essentially beat him down to unconscious and left him for dead. He didn't die, but he was close. So, once people found him, they sent the guards. Because what else are you gonna do? And it took just about the entire town's guard to capture Draco. They found out that Cream was asleep, or unconscious, and took her as well. And put the man that Draco had just finished beating into nothing to the hospital. And this is actually where the main party came across Draco. Well, Cream first, because they needed help doing something. So they went to the Lord of the island. And he said, "Look, I'll help you, but you have to help me, and you have to deal with a problem for me." In which case, he took them to Cream. She wasn't chained in. She wasn't locked down at all. She was between bars that would reshape. They were magically enchanted, and they would reshape to keep her jailed. And, she was very pleasant. She didn't give them any trouble. But he also made a point to say this was only a very small portion of the problem. The real problem they're about to go see. So, they took Cream, and they continued walking down the hall in the jails. To which, they came across this massive monstrosity who was just aching against chains. He was in this heavy wooden chair that was creaking and splintering and cracking all up and down it. And several heavy chains across his shoulders, his chest, his arms, his legs, holding him down as much as they possibly could. A couple of them had even snapped off. Draco was not happy in any way. He didn't know what happened to Cream. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know where he was. And he was very upset about it. Now, the first thing that the party said was, we have to deal with that to get your help. You know, Lord of Ozen. Yes. Deal with this. Get rid of this. Or take it with you. I don't care. And I'll help you with what you need. Now, of course, Cream, seeing Draco in his state, immediately rushed to him. Now, Cream was a very fast character. So it didn't take her much effort to sprint through the bars that were around Draco's cage. They did shrink to her size, but not fast enough, because Cream is quick. So once she got between the bars, I am not vibing with any of these. Yeah, what's going on, Bishop? You got here just in time for the end of story time. So she gets to the bars and she's crawling all over Draco, just trying to make sure he's okay and everything's fine. Which he is. He's roughed up, but he's fine. It was the other guy that was fucked. And, you know, immediately when when Cream got to Draco, started crawling around him, checking him for wounds, anything of the such, he calmed down a million times. It is as if he was never chained in. All of the slack just kind of came into the chains. The chair was no longer creaking and splintering, about to break. It was okay. Things were fine. And that's when it was realized, like, well, maybe we can take this thing because we have her. At this point in time, Draco was about, I would say at this point he's still evil. He's an evil character. He has no qualms of just absolutely destroying something that is a problem. But at this point he was easily lawful evil. And what kept him in check was Cream. There was a lot that happened with Draco and Cream. And there were times where if Cream wasn't around to just sort of filter Draco, there would be some genuine problems. There were points where things happened and, like, Cream was knocked unconscious, or there was a possibility that she was being hurt, and Draco lost it. Absolutely lost his shit. I'm talking full blood rage. No holds. There's so much to the story of the Silverwind Isles that it's something that I couldn't finish in 7 streams from point A to point B. And I'm not gonna lie, half of it I don't necessarily remember. It's a lot. You know, kind of wish I could, but you know, memory goes. But there's a lot to it. If I could ever get Lycris to come into a stream and just have a nice long conversation about the story of the Silver Winds. If I could ever do that, I will. Because that would be really fun to listen to while I go through and just kind of make minis. Adds more armor, so that's nice. Panda, how's this looking for cream? Is this good, or there's some renditions that I should make? Otherwise, I'm going to start posing. She wore hide. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and come back to this. So the first thing that I had up, did she wear hide pants? Did she wear any type of gown, dress, or anything like that? Fair enough. No, I was just on the hide. There we go. So this is technically the hide here. The rest of it's like leathers. I'd assume she'd wear something more like that. Go ahead and give her some hide boots then. Just changing things up a little bit. I think these are the hide bracers, but I really don't like the hide bracers. Don't think they look great. And then I believe you had some sort of cloak, didn't you? Well, we'll give her a little cloak. Just a little one. Yeah, this'll do. I wish they would add an option for like a downed hood, so there's just like more stuff here. Okay, and do hand items. So we're looking for magical focuses. And we'll probably add a spell in here. Or might be in the miscellaneous. Yep. There's the crystal ball, but they did add another orb, I think. Let me... Didn't they? Small crystal ball. So it's more held. That looks nicer. I like that. So now we'll look at spells. I wonder if we can... Because she was a cleric, so she was definitely much more about healing and things of the such. Could do some type of shield spell. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fit. Could just do like a small effect and we'll color it. Kind of match up what we're doing. So let's see if we can get a good pose for her now. Okay. So it looks like a few of these will mesh pretty well. Kind of like the aesthetic going on here. I wonder if I switched. Can I? Neat, you can do either or. So let's actually switch where these are. Gotta keep checking the clock, because at some point I'm gonna have to worry about streaming. Or another stream, I suppose. Yeah, I wish there was better options for spells. Which we'll head back over to... That's the large. We don't want the large one. Little one will do. Okay, now let's actually get into posing, because this is the fun part. Actually, the fun part is coloring, but I won't have enough time for that today. That's okay, because I think this is going to be a regular thing that I do. This is just the set of characters that I really wanted to start out on, because I adore both of them. Okay, so we don't need a twist. We're going to need to do a lot of bends, though. Actually, let's tilt you all the way back so I can get a good idea of what I'm doing with the tail. Put that there. Don't need a twist, just need... Or is the bend? The bend is what... Okay, the bend is what I need. So we'll just do a little bit at a time, all the way down the tail. And now I can twist probably here. We'll twist here. And we'll keep doing these little bends. Give a little bit more twist, because we're going to bring the tail down. Come down to the tip here, or closer to the tip. So that's a very heavy bend, though. And we don't want that. That might be that's actually a twist point there. So instead, just kind of even that out just a bit. We're going to take that heavy twist out of there and just do some light twists all the way down. That way it's not as dramatic in that one spot. Probably need to bend that back just a bit. Not much. So that's the... Okay, yeah, that's where that real heavy bend is. So that looks a little bit more natural. So give it a little bit more of a twist, a little bit more of a bend. Okay. So that looks almost perfect. Can't really do anything with the tail tip, not a lot happens. That looks good. I like that. Looks like it flows well. Perfect. So let's do this. Kinda bend that clavicle in a bit. Oh, right, I put the fucking cloak all the way up. There we go, that's good. Might move her back just a bit. I don't want her clipping. That's my only concern, so we'll give her a twist. And a little bit over. So there's no clipping. Just kind of held real well right in that little spot. That's good. Now this is where we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this. Give that a little twist. Gonna want to tilt this in just a bit. A little bend to it so it's not so irregular, and just a little bit more of a twist that we're not looking at any clipping issues. Well, we want to make it a bit more dynamic, so let's bend this out a bit. Oh, that could work. So now, Cream had no fear of Draco at all. There was no concern at any point that Draco would ever harm her. So she never looked at Draco with fear or worry, anything like that. Unless it was for his own well-being. So kind of just like soft look up and seeing him, even in the, like a state of like rage. She had no fear, which was something I always liked. Okay. And there it is. I'd say that's about good right there. Now, obviously, there's no color, so we're going to have to come back and do this at some point. And I will go through and color everything. Just add a little bit of things, kind of give that expression a bit more softness to it. How's my phone looking? Are you still dead? Oh, no, don't do that. I just need to see the battery. Oh god, you're still dead. Fucking great. That's gonna be fun to figure out. Okay, well, no clipping issues, no connection issues. Fuck whoever has to, like, actually break this down. Because the structure supports on this are gonna suck. Like, real bad. But yeah, I think this is a good stopping point right now. Gives me time to get my stream and everything together after this. And, yeah. So this is Draco and Cream. Two of my most favorable characters that both I and Panda have played. Draco will most likely forever be one of my favorite characters. And Cream is just a fucking treat. Trying to see if there's anything that I need to do to make this any better. Oh, might help if I give her like some gear. Give her a little hand crossbow on the give her a hand crossbow on her side, which I'm gonna have to move. And it would make sense for her to have a potion bottle. Muzzle flash? What the fuck? Let's see. Can I add a pouch, or I can look for potion bottles. Here we go. There we go. Those will do. So we'll go ahead and fix up the crossbow a bit. You know, we'll bring, just to make life a little easier, we'll bring her arm up a bit so that it'll still clip a bit, but it won't clip as bad, so. I wonder if I can just give this a... I wish it didn't have a bolt in it. This would be genuinely easier if there wasn't a bolt in it. Okay, that's a little better. Let's give a little flick to her wrist and kind of pull that up off of there. And maybe just a bit of a twist to the shoulder. See, now it's a lot of just fine-tuning and stuff like that. We probably should give her a little bit, just give her a little bit more to herself. Yeah, we're not gonna fuck with that. Bring the build down. Don't want to mess with the upper scale. Just kind of fill out her body a little bit, make sure that the proportions aren't like super weird. I'd say that's about got it right there. Her proportions aren't funky as hell. Okay. Yeah. And then next time I do a 3D modeling stream, we'll sit down and I'll paint these guys, which I'm very much looking forward to. I love painting the characters. See, look at that, just like soft stare. That's nice. That's pleasant. So yeah, hope you guys will come hang out with me next time that I do this. For now, we're gonna go ahead and call it. And if you want to stick around for a little bit, once I come back, I'll be playing the DLC for Metro Exodus, which will be exciting. That'll be fun. But as of right now, I appreciate you guys hanging out, coming by just to sit down and vibe with me. I should be tired. I slept till 3 o'clock today. So, thanks so much, guys, for joining, keep me company, and just hanging out. And as always, welcome to the Chaos Crew.